Hey, I'm Jason Chapman, and I run a music store with my brothers, John and Jeremy. People are always asking, what is it like to be in a family business? Well, I've been in a band with my family for the last 28 years.
And if that wasn't enough, we recently opened a music shop. Since opening the shop, we found that the people that come through the door are just about as unique as the instruments they carry.
And now, since they gave us a TV show,
We leave the cameras running, and there's always something going on at the shop.
welcome back to another episode of the Ozark Music Shoppe. We are back again this week with more of whatever it is that we do.
Yes, we filmed it, and now you get to watch it.
That's right.
This week on the show, we are going to dive a little bit more into the history of the Chapmans like we did on our first episode, explaining a little bit more in depth what warped our minds the way it did and made this guy turn out the way he has. I've been trying to figure it out.
What's wrong with me?
Nothing is wrong. Just
Yeah, there is.
You're
There's a
different.
lot of things wrong with
There's
it.
probably something. We've got old footage of us playing on another TV show in the early 90s.
this ain't our first show, is it?
No, we've done this before. Yeah, can't you tell?
Jeremy stole Garth Brooks' shirt.
And then gave it to everyone else.
Yeah, and then we thought, well, that's an awesome shirt, so we'll all get one.
It was a Garth Brooks era, so just keep that in
It's all
mind when
good.
you're watching
That's
it.
right. It also has some footage of Mom playing, which that's kind of rare stuff to see. So Mom's playing bass on there, going.
I
at it.
stole her job. What are you gonna do about it, Mom? I'm in trouble.
You are.
We also have a special guest that is now an employee at the shop and a close friend of ours, Liz Carney, is on the show, and
She's been on the show before, but
she has, but now we're introducing her.
yeah, we had the cameras up to do a little bit of this sort of filming that we're doing right now, and we thought, well,
Hey Liz, grab your
pick
guitar.
let's pick some songs with Liz, because she's
She's a
great.
good singer, yeah. We also have some more shop talk where John explains the dangers of not humidifying your instrument. I'm surprised that a lot of people didn't know that, but we are going to be, that's our public service announcement for this episode. So we're looking forward to another
Take
episode.
care of those.
Yes, take care of your instruments, people. It should be easy to do. You love it. But enjoy the show.
2, ready, go.
Donna, is anyone finer in the state of Carolina? If there is, sure to be your Donna. You've got those Dixie eyes, baby, now I love to see them gaze to the eyes of Donna Lee. Oh, every night, why do I shake me fly? Close my
2, 1.
This all started with a passion. Music has been a part of our lives for as long as I can remember.
Our goal from the start was to have an outlet where we could feel that passion in others.
At the Acoustic Shoppe, this is not just what we do, it's who we are.
Being three brothers growing up pretty much in the back of a van, which started out with just a cargo van with a few chairs in it, and then we moved up to a 15-passenger van, so we each got our own bench, but it was still very tight quarters.
Holy cow. Give me a circus peanut. I like this. There's my hand. Hello.
And there were definitely some drag-out fights along the way, but we learned really quickly how we could vent.
By hitting me in the eye.
Maybe not the average work environment that you would see.
I have no memory of why he gave it to me, the first one.
And then 10 minutes later, we were all over it. Nobody held a grudge. And
I had to borrow some makeup from another band because it was a shiner.
we have learned how to work together, air our grievances, and then get back on the same team again.
After this incident, Dad came up with a genius idea of instituting the no face rule. We could hit anywhere but the face because face obviously begs too many questions from the fans.
So when we decided to open the music store, a lot of people were like, are you sure you want to open a music store with your family? And for us, that's the only people we've worked with is just brothers and Dad. So it just seemed like the next logical thing.
Moms and dads, boys and girls, the first time on the Blinky Show, and I can assure you it won't be the last. They're called the Chapman family from Denver, Colorado. It's called Bluegrass.
Selling sweet corn by the road. He never made a big deal out of goes to work and every night he leaves. No one knows the better pride than he. A simple man. In the corner grocery, there's a man who stocks a shelf, arranging things so anyone can see. Every day he goes to work and every night he leaves. No one knows a greater pride than he. A simple man. Oh, to the simple man, it's easy going way. He trials and tribulations few. And though he may seem humble in a very changing world, from a simple man to walking in his a simple man. Oh, to the simple man, it's easy going way. His trials and tribulations few. And though he may seem humble in a ever-changing world, they can't call a simple man to walking in his shoes. Can't fault a simple man to walk in his shoes.
Hey folks, this is John here for Shop Talk, and today we're going to talk about humidity and your musical instrument. Humidity is a necessity for any musical instrument that's made of wood, and your violin, your mandolin, your guitar, your banjo, they all have wood in them. Wood naturally has liquid in it or moisture, and as we dry it out, it's going to have less of it. So that's going to make it shrink up and also cause some of those wood fibers to kind of split and separate a little bit more. So on your guitar, we'll use this as a kind of example, what will end up happening is things like when it shrivels up, you'll get the neck to bow just a little bit, or your glue joints like the bridge will come loose, or worse yet, we'll get cracks, and that's what we see most often with instruments that are dried out. So we definitely want to humidify them. Ideally, we want to see those at a 45 to 50% humidity. That gives us a really good safe bet. Anything below 35%, we're really risking damage to those instruments. Anything too much further than that, first we'll start by having too much moisture in the guitar, which will cause it to not vibrate as much. It's going to be kind of heavy with water, so it's not going to be able to make as good a sound as possible. And further, we get mildew and mold and damage of that sort. So definitely don't want that to happen. So we want to humidify. How do we do that? Well, you can do like what we did here at the shop, and you can put a humidification system in the ductwork. That's going to keep our store, we keep that right around 45 to 50%. Or you can get a room humidifier. Now, there's lots and lots of different options for those, so you can pick those up at your hardware store or your local department store, and that'll help with a room full of instruments or keeping the entire room. If you're going to keep it outside of a case, this is probably an ideal choice for you. But for most of us, that's not really going to work. So what we end up doing is what they call case humidifiers. This gives us the advantage, if we got it in a case, we have a small environment that we're able to control and keep done. So you can get lots of different types of case humidifiers. A lot of the ones that you'll see are going to be like this one from Music Nomad. This is a sponge-based humidifier. You'll fill the sponge with moisture. Now this one holds a lot more than a standard sponge, but it'll kind of keep everything at its right desired level. Now the downside of this is you're going to have to keep refilling this sponge. So if you stay on top of it, great choice. These will last probably about a week and a half, sometimes up to 2, but you need to keep on keeping those full. If you're not keeping them full, it's not doing you any good. So one of my personal favorite versions for a case humidifier, something like the Humidipacks here. These ones will hold enough for usually about 2 to 3 months at a time. Treat it like an oil change in your car and just plan on every 3 months replacing these. But what's cool about this is it'll also dehumidify. So if you got too low, it'll emit moisture. If it's too high, it will actually absorb some of that moisture, again, keeping it at that 45 to 50% level. If we do that, we're gonna have instruments that'll last forever, and we definitely want that to happen. So if you're not humidifying, do it. I always tell people, I don't care what kind of humidifier you're using, just get one. And then if you do that, many, many years of happy picking. If you're looking for an acoustic instrument, the Acoustic Shoppe is the place you want to go. The Acoustic Shoppe, we've been open about 4 years now and have been nominated Top 100 Dealer at NAMM Show for 2 years now.
At the Acoustic Shoppe, we mainly focus on acoustic music instruments and the accessories that go with them. Guitars, mandolins, banjos, basses, and accessories and the lessons and repairs that go along with those. It's something that we've been passionate about for the last 28 years of our lives, playing in a family band growing up. Then we opened a all-acoustic music store in Missouri to help fill the needs of people that are more focused on just that niche of the genre.
With us having all those years on the road, it's really helped us to find the right instrument for the right person. When somebody calls us or comes into the shop, we can actually talk to them and know exactly what kind of instrument would be the best fit for them. And I think that's just something that we bring that a lot of people can't.
Started out teaching lessons before we even opened the shop, so that is something that has been a passion of ours for the last 15 years.
I believe we've said this is where the pros teach, and I truly believe this is where the pros teach.
At the Acoustic Shoppe, this isn't just what we do, this is who we are.
So if you're wanting to learn how to play the banjo, the fiddle, the mandolin, guitar, the Acoustic Shoppe's the place for you.
Come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. Born to Louisiana, my true love to see. Rained all night the day I
Well, I hope you enjoyed another episode of the Ozark Music Shop. I personally enjoyed reliving some of the memories of punching Jason, but that's just because I haven't got to do that in a while. He got bigger than me right after that video was
It's
shot.
not funny. It's not funny, folks. We don't hit.
Now that we're parents, we realize you're not supposed to hit.
You're not supposed to do that. Especially on the face.
If you haven't got to see some of our previous episodes, we have those on the YouTube now, don't we, Jason?
The YouTube. www.theyoutube.
That's not it. We just
You
call
are
it-
getting old. You sound like my grandfather. It's YouTube.
And the Facebook.
You don't have-
on the internets.
You don't have any of that. You don't have to say the www. Just Google it. Google
Use the
YouTube
Google.
or Google the Ozark Music Shop. Either way, it'll take you to everything you need to know about the shop.
Yeah, we got a Facebook page,
Show.
we got a YouTube page. You can meet up with us on social media. Let us know what you think of the show. We do not condone violence. We apologize for anybody that's going to tell us that was bad. We were young lads in a van, and he deserved it. He deserved it. But we'll see you again next week, and we appreciate you guys watching.
Closed captioning and other considerations provided by